Every man has a post. Most men don't know where theirs is anymore, and that's not because there are no posts to be had. It's because they were never told to stand anywhere for long. We live in a world that trains men to drift, to move when things get uncomfortable, to leave when things get boring, to disengage when something costs them too much. And we've mistaken that movement for freedom. But a post is not a prison. A post is an honored place of trust. Someone put you there. Someone expects you to remain there. Someone else is counting on you not leaving there. In ancient cities, the post mattered far more than the wall did. Walls can be rebuilt, gates can be repaired. But if the watchman abandons his post, everything behind him is exposed to the enemy. And that's the part that we have forgotten. When a man leaves his post, he doesn't just affect himself, he exposes all the others. The penguin does not choose his post. The penguin receives it. He doesn't stand there because he enjoys it. He stands there because something living has been entrusted to him. And once it has been entrusted, the question is no longer how he feels about it. The question is whether he will remain, whether he will stand his post. Most men today were never given that question. They were given choices, an abundance of choices instead, endless options, endless exits, endless alternatives. And that abundance quietly trained men to believe that staying is optional. But staying is the work. Your post might not look heroic. It might be a job no one ever notices, a marriage that feels heavy, children who don't thank you, a church that doesn't applaud you, a responsibility that never seems to end. And that doesn't mean it isn't a post. It means it probably is a post. A post is usually revealed to us by three things. One, you didn't choose the post for glory. Two, leaving the post would cost others dearly. And three, staying requires endurance more than excitement. That's how you know. The world tells men to ask, is this fulfilling me? The post asks a completely different question. Were you entrusted with this? Christ speaks this language clearly, always has, always will. He doesn't say, go wherever you feel alive. He says, remain. Remain in me. Remain faithful. Remain watchful. Remaining is not passive. Remaining is resistance. It resists boredom. It resists resentment. It resists fantasy. It resists boredom. It resists resentment. It resists fantasy. And it resists escape. Remaining is how order holds in a collapsing world. The reason so many men feel restless today is not because they were made for novelty. It's because they were made for a post and never taught how to stand one. And here's the hard truth. A man without a post will invent enemies. A man without a post will chase distractions. A man without a post will burn energy everywhere because he is not anchored anywhere. The penguin does not patrol the ice. He stands. He doesn't scan for better options. He doesn't ask how long this will take. He holds what has been given to him and trusts that faithfulness itself is the point. And that's not weakness, brother. That's strength under command. Your post may change over time, but you don't abandon one post until you are formally relieved of it. That's the difference between duty and drifting. Some of you already know where your post is. You've just been avoiding it. Not because you're evil, but because staying feels heavier than leaving does. And everything in modern life whispers to you, you don't have to carry this. But here's what no one tells you. What you refuse to carry will eventually crush someone else. The post is not about control. The post is about containment. Your presence contains chaos. Your endurance contains fear. And your faithfulness contains decay. That's why it matters so very, very much. This is why the enemy mocks men who stand their post, not because they look dangerous, but because they are dangerous. A man who remains cannot be easily moved. A man who remains cannot be easily reprogrammed. You do not need to find a new mission. You need to identify your post, and then you need to stand it. If you're waiting for clarity before obedience, you will wait forever. The post is clarified by standing, not before it. You don't stand because you feel certain about it. You stand because you were entrusted with it. So here's the question that this episode leaves you with. Where have you been posted that you've been quietly abandoning? Not dramatically, not even angrily, just slowly. When the pressure rises, when the boredom sets in, when the silence stretches, you don't need a speech. You don't need permission. You need a sentence. Stand your post.